For those that make over 200K a year, what do? Corporate lawyer. I make substantially more than 200K, but it is a miserable gig. It is an extremely high-stress environment where clients are paying millions of dollars in legal fees to firms. So they expect lawyers to be absurdly responsive and draft, revise, negotiate, etc. Documents with very quick turnaround times. There are also billable hour expectations, where at most firms, you need to bill at least 2,000 hours per year. That doesn't sound bad on paper, since that amounts to only billing 40 hours per week. But some weeks, there isn't enough work to bill that much, so you have to compensate by billing 60, 70, 80, etc. hours. Volatility is another factor, and there are times where clients will call us at 5 p.m. on a Friday to give us 20-plus hours of work that needs to be completed before Monday. On top of that, the level of competition for partner at firms, for those who aspire to that, is also quite high. So that is yet another difficult dynamic. I decided not to take the job, but I was offered a job just 250, 300K range, traveling the world, watching bulk export ships unload, and ensuring that everything gets completed strictly according to contracts. Mostly the job is making sure buyers don't cheat and try and fraudulently lower purchase price. Reasonably low entry requirements, I guess, in terms of formal training for reference. I had about 6-12 months in the industry without college education. Was small additional section of my existing role. Just wanted to post it since it's an interesting out-of-left-field job that doesn't require a degree and isn't IT. Airline pilot. Been flying professionally since 1997. Was an aircraft mechanic before that. I grew up at an airport. Was flying before I could legally drive. Unlike some people I know, I love the job. I can't believe I get paid to do it. I own an antique plane, and I fly warbirds for a couple museums doing rides and air shows. I've also been an electrician and electrical contractor. Flying is the best damn way to make a living I can imagine. Roofer, dirty roofer. Pulled in 486K last year with just a brother on payroll making 120K himself. No screw-ups, no leaks, no advertising, only word of mouth. It pays to be the best roofer in the state. Suck it, unlicensed shinglers, and thanks, Dad, for showing us the ways of the hammer. Somehow, I make more than 200K doing UX content strategy. I don't understand how it happened, really, and I'm very lucky. Biggest advantage was learning how to future pace in interviews, judge sales conversations, by focusing on the problem the company is hiring to solve, then doing some quick mental math about how much money that would be worth to them. What problem are you trying to solve? Usually, want to increase conversions from the blog, or redesign our site so it's easier to find stuff for our customers. Okay, and what's your average customer lifetime value? So if we were able to increase blog conversions by 5 new leads per month, it would be worth 5x LTV for your company every month, right? Wow, what a surprise. My salary requirement is only a fraction of that amount, even if it's higher than anyone else. Create a category of one. Don't try to compete on the same terms everyone else is. Maybe growing up as an undiagnosed ADHD kid who never quite fit in no matter how hard I tried led me to that approach. Independent consultant, hired gun, for the oil and gas upstream industries. I fix broken oil fields and broken wells, usually with high explosives. Contracts vary, but usually ring in at $325 HR. Jobs can last months. Fair compensation for living out in the boonies. Physician. FP primary care. 2 thoughts. PCPs are in incredibly high demand, at least in the Midwest. What the hospitals who have tried to build practices around mid-levels won't tell you is that it is very hard to build a practice around an NPPA. So do we recruit mid-levels? Sure. But we are much more interested in physicians. Now looking ahead, AI. Dunno how it will look in the exam room. It is already here if you use Epic. That said, if I am a multi-billion-dollar insurance company or a hospital and I can cut into costs by supplying a DocHal 9000 which A, operates 24/7B, doesn't need to eat, sleep, vacation, reimbursement, or health insurance. That is pretty compelling. Add to that the insurance company, hospital, has complete control over the algorithm and therefore costs, seems kind of inevitable for not only primary care but most ambulatory care. What do we have? We have the deeply personal relationships, which is what people want out of a PCP. Be very careful of anyone trying to convince you otherwise. PTS will go to an expert in a given disease, but they still want our thoughts on the recommendation. PTS value the trust, context, and insight of 15-20 years.